How do celebrities stay cool? They have a lot of fans. Today I'm going to be doing a review over the book How Not to Fall in Love by Lisa Brown Roberts. This book's about a girl named Darcy who lives in a pretty wealthy family. Long story short, Darcy's dad decides one day to just kind of like not come home, and so they're like, where's dad at? And no one knows, and he just sends postcards from the road, not knowing that in the meanwhile his family has lost their home, their cars, because they were all company-owned items, and so the family's having to deal with the dad being gone, plus having to adjust to not being wealthy anymore and getting jobs and lots of different issues that go along with that. Darcy turns to her uncle who lives across town in the less rich part, who owns a thrift shop, and she meets Lucas there and she gets a job at the coffee shop next door. Things happen. It's kind of a mystery about where her dad is and how they're gonna get him back, and simultaneously a story about her and Lucas. The title and the cover have almost nothing to do with the actual book, so that's like, okay. I give this book 3.5 stars. Let's get into my review. Let's talk about the writing first. So the writing is very in your face in the beginning because it is a bit more of a like conversational, I want to use the word cheesy, but you might like this writing. It's very modern day sayings. Long story short, this is just a book that I would read out loud sarcastically just because I feel like the writing's kind of corny. It's not my thing. It's very similar to Jennifer L. Armentrout, so I know a ton of people either love her or hate her because of her writing style. If you love Jennifer L. Armentrout, you'll probably like this writing. If you don't like Jennifer L. Armentrout, I would steer clear. It's not as bad as Jennifer L. Armentrout as far as corny sayings and stuff like that, but it definitely is a little bit more exhausting if you don't like that type of writing. And again, that does calm down toward the end. It's mostly whenever Darcy is talking about Lucas, she gets that way, and it's so irritating because every single time Lucas is mentioned or Lucas is in the room, she's always like spewing weird, dumb things like, holy shizballs, the king of sexy just walked in. And it was like, I couldn't take it seriously. I don't like that. I can't relate to it because I feel like that's really immature. But again, that could be your thing. Go ahead. The plot, for the most part, is what I think really kept this book going and made me want to finish it. But I really did want to know what happened to her dad, and I wanted to know if he was coming home, or if someone set him up, or if he just up and left. But I do really like the plot. I like that she works at a coffee shop. I think it gives the book a really nice aesthetic. Like, I don't know, it just felt cozy a lot of the time. This book takes place in the fall, and although the entire book you don't get descriptions of her at school, in the very beginning you do get some of that, and there's a lot of unrealistic bullying in it. Like, for example, whenever people find out that her dad left and they're going bankrupt and all that different stuff, people start to make fun of her for that in very unrealistic ways. Like, I've never been bullied in my life, or like to my face, at least not like critically like these people in this book, so I don't know if it's just me being 6'2" and untouchable, but I don't think it would ever go so far. Has anyone ever like printed out offensive sayings and spread them around the school? I don't think that actually happens. I just think that happens in movies. So just things like that, it was like, would that happen? No. Also, a huge problem I had was that her dad is ridiculously rich and has this huge company, and their family is like millionaires, I suppose. But he's a motivational speaker. Like, who even makes millions off of that? From the beginning, I just thought it was a little bit ridiculous that they were just this family that was so rich, and then it's like, my dad's a motivational speaker. Then I was like, that's the first point when I started to be like, this is kind of bizarre. One thing that I really appreciated though was toward the middle of the book, Darcy's mom starts to get a little bit alcoholic, and I think that was handled very well, and it was executed very well, and it was realistic. I know a lot of teenagers struggle with alcoholic parents, so I think it was very relatably done. Even though I don't have alcoholic parents, I don't think we even have alcohol in this house, I was still able to empathize with Darcy for her having to tuck her mom into bed, just like get her mom to change every night, and so that was definitely something that I thought was done very well, and I applaud that. Now for the characters. I thought Darcy, for the most part, was likable. She was kind of obnoxious because of the way the book was written. So all in all, she was a pretty solid character. I just couldn't take her seriously sometimes because of some of the narrative. One of my favorite characters in this book is Darcy's uncle, Charlie. Is his name Charlie? Read the book and find out. It might be, it might not be. I thought he was awesome because since her dad's gone, he kind of acts as a different father figure, and he's such a good, comforting, lovey-dovey character that I just thought was so inspiring, and I liked him as a side character. Lucas was alright. I mean, I didn't have anything against the guy. He was definitely sweet. I just didn't see anything special about him that Darcy saw, because it was like he had nice hair and nice eyes. And then I was like, okay, well, doesn't every boy? So then he would walk in the room and Darcy would just be like, I couldn't take her seriously because of that. I didn't think Lucas was that great. Something I forgot to mention in the writing was that Lucas and Darcy flirted a lot. Like, for 3/4 of this book, there's like nothing going on between them other than them being friends. So naturally they were like kind of poking at each other, like, and I just felt like a lot of their flirting was so cheesy. Overall, the romance was just so angsty. Like, there's so much buildup of Darcy being like, he doesn't like me, I'm not good enough, etc, etc, and she does this for the majority of the book. It was just kind of annoying that every single scene she's like, oh, I'm so upset, we're just friends. And even in the synopsis, it talks about the friend zone, and let me tell you a thing, the friend zone is an imaginary concept concocted by people who think they have to be rewarded with a relationship just by being friendly. That's not how it works. Kind of going off of that, I thought Darcy was a little bit of a coward. She just kept avoiding Lucas, and that especially was annoying. On top of that, she really suppressed her feelings and just wouldn't let herself grow close to him, and again, it was just so long of them avoiding each other and not admitting their feelings for each other that it was so obnoxious. I wasn't bored, it was just a little bit exhausting after a while. And I know I just spent this entire review telling you how horrible it was, but honestly it was a pretty good book. I like how it was resolved, I like how you find out about her dad, and I do like this sense of family you get from this. I did like hearing about Darcy and Lucas. I know I just ragged on their relationship, but as friends, they're such a great duo, and he's just such a good help for her. Everyone in this book is kind of pitching in to make sure that Darcy is staying happy, and overall I think that's just a really good message, is that you can be helped by friends to make sure you're still doing alright, but then she is still strong and wants to figure things out on her own, and I think it's just a very nice story in the end. Without further ado, that concludes my reviews, and thank you all for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!